Welcome to Mediumship Sparks. I'm Noelle Dean, intuitive medium, licensed therapist, and your host. I am endlessly amazed by how Spirit reaches out to us, supports us, and loves us, sometimes in the most surprising and unexpected ways. If, like me, you're drawn to those sparks of insight that bring you greater peace, healing, flow, and just make everything make more sense, whether you're finding us for the first time or we have already shared this space, I'm so happy you're here. Before we begin today's episode, I want to offer a gentle content note. What you're about to hear is a rebroadcast from one of the most meaningful conversations I've ever had, an honest dialogue with a young man who was diagnosed with schizophrenia as a child and who had also experienced spiritual perception throughout his life. We talk about hearing voices, seeing beings, emotional overwhelm, suicidality, and the fine line people often fear between being crazy or spiritually connected. Please listen with compassion. If you or someone you love is struggling, reach out to a mental health professional or crisis resource in your area. This episode is meant to educate, normalize, and humanize, not diagnose. Let's begin. There's a part of me that wants to ask you.
Go for it.
It's a two-parter. Okay. So I'm wondering if you're feeling aware of, and you touched a little bit on this before, but like, is there like a spiritual purpose or meaning for you to be built this way, that you have these abilities? And just to poke a little bit further, are you open to at some point maybe doing things with them? Dude, wouldn't you be an amazing medium?
I'd be okay with it. Yeah. If I could learn to channel or control at least a little bit of how to make the flow of things a little less, that'd be incredible.
Okay. And do you have a sense of what is the spiritual meaning or purpose for you having this?
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because ever since I was a little kid, I sometimes have dreams and then they'll become reality.
Okay.
Kind of like deja vu moments, I guess you'd say.
Premonitions or precognitive things. We can call it that too. Yeah. Okay.
I'll have a dream one night and it's not necessarily like the next day. I've had dreams and they won't happen until years later.
Oh, wow.
I've had many, not just one or two, but a whole, I've had many over the years growing up.
You mentioned about you can see certain things on people. Do you pick up on, oh yeah, I see her grandmother walking with her? Do you have that kind of thing too?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I can pick up on, if I'm closer to the person, I can usually pick up on it more, but I can usually just tell from a certain distance, oh yeah, this person's being followed by, or this person's talking to or thinking about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you see them, let's say the grandfather is following them, right? Do you ever have this moment with the grandfather? Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, actually, I have in the past. Standing there, walking my dog on the sidewalk or something, and someone will walk by and they'll walk by. I don't raise my hand until after their loved one walks by, and then it looks like I'm just going, stop, to nobody.
But you're saying hi to the
grandfather. To the grandfather or whoever, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Used to do the same thing as a kid, too.
Huh.
Yeah, except I just found out recently, within the last year or so, on my dad's mother's sister's side, we are related to Elvis.
Wow.
It's distant.
Gotcha, I hear you.
But the crazy thing is, when I was little, first time I saw Elvis, I called him my old grandpa. I would call him my old grandpa. Wow. There's always been the dreams and those kind of things. Yeah.
And I'm remembering, just as you said that, it came back to me that your higher self shared her, I don't know if it's just her theory. Higher selves usually are in on the good things, right?
Yeah.
But do you remember what she said about why you are having this experience in this life? Why you chose this experience in this life? And sorry,
it was so that I could push forward with this life now and then help others that come.
Yeah.
So
who have these situations. Yeah. And how did that feel to hear that from her?
Like when an army officer walks into the room, all the soldiers are at attention. Whoa, made me stand up straight. Wow, okay, that gives me a reason to not be afraid anymore of struggling with all this. And I'm able to do this with you now in this present moment. So that's perfectly okay with me.
So somebody's emotion is coming through. So I'm just going to see who. Do you know?
Yeah,
who's
I think it might be.
the Sybil's? Yeah, I
Yeah,
get that too.
yeah.
And what is she feeling
I
right
don't know.
now? Do you
I
want
feel
to share?
floaty. I feel floaty,
Oh,
like I'm floating.
okay.
Feels interesting.
Do you think you're feeling that because you're feeling connected to her?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Higher selves, it's cool to be able to connect
Oh
with a
yeah,
higher self. Everybody's got their vibration. Part
yeah.
of my friend's theory that I was telling you about is that part of why some people might see things like demons or have really negative experiences is that their own vibration level is
Off.
low.
Yeah.
And for all of us, like me being scammed by this psychic woman,
Right.
my vibration was low. And so I was easy prey to a predatory person.
Right.
And so that was her, that's part of her theory that she's a neuropsychologist. So she's put a lot of thought into this and a medium. Anyway, but it was really interesting to hear her say that and the idea that lifting our vibration. So even that you're connecting, she's your higher self. So she's going to look to connect with you. But that's a totally different vibration.
Oh yeah.
Than,
by far.
Than Omar.
Oh yeah.
When I was going to connect with her, just so you all know, I made sure to get in touch with Scott and say, this is what I'm doing, because I just I knew you would feel it. So I was like, there's going to be a disturbance in the force.
Which there was. Yeah.
So did you feel something when I was connecting with her?
Yeah.
What'd you feel?
Kind of, not like a weight on my shoulders, but it was like a weight, but it wasn't like a, oh my God, I'm carrying a weight. It was like when the grandpa puts his hand on the grandson's shoulder, teaches him how to swing a baseball bat kind of thing. That kind of reassurance that you're doing a good job.
Oh, okay. Now I'm feeling something right here. Are you feeling anything right here?
No, mine's down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are listening and not watching, I was feeling some pressure on the top right side of my head.
And I'm feeling something on the bottom left base of my skull.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you just start feeling it?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
tickle or something. Yeah.
And now it's gone, right?
Yeah.
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 So the cool thing about having this conversation with you, really, I mean, on many levels, it's been wonderful. But I love that at first I was like, what? Mediums and people with schizophrenia are like,
neck and neck, head and head. Yeah. We're all in the same pot.
Yeah, but we are. And now I was like, all right, I could see there's two steps, but even just the more we're spending time, I'm like, it's much smaller than that.
Maybe a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And the sand's getting washed away a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to be careful not to sound like condescending. I feel like it's
go ahead.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
But maybe because I was trained as a therapist, and also I have people in my family who have really very different, looser emotional boundaries. So I can be pretty rigid at times about my emotional boundaries and energetic. But I feel like that also really helps, because otherwise I would feel bombarded by people in spirit or energies that I pick up on. Oh yeah. So I have strong walls.
That's good that you have that. Trust me. Trust me.
No, totally get that.
Yeah.
So do you think that is something that maybe you could start exercising a bit more?
Oh yeah,
see
absolutely.
How it impacts you.
Oh yeah. I actually do little meditations and stuff to try and help me just reduce things, reduce the voices, and try and focus either on just one voice or maybe one thing that, like, let's say Omar is in the corner of the room again. Yeah, I'll watch TV and I'll just keep an eye on you. But that's where I'm going to leave you.
Okay. What's the word?
Boundary, I guess. Yeah,
boundary,
that's your
like
space.
The opposite of a mesh, like differentiating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's your space. This is my space. I'll stay here. You stay there. Yeah.
Do you ever feel he gets mad at you when you set boundaries or anything?
Oh yeah, in the past. Oh yeah. Horrible when I was a kid. Yeah. It was really bad. Actually, most of my hospitalizations were when I was a kid. My most recent one was when I was 22. So that's 16 years.
Ago.
Yeah.
How 15, are you able to not?
Really, it came down to a lot of things. Finally, eventually reaching out, not just to my family, but to actually try and figure out what is going on with me, why I'm feeling this way, why am I seeing and hearing these things. The other part also is that once you know what it is, and that it does have the possibility, there's always the possibility it could hurt you, not necessarily physically, but emotionally it can tear you down, which can lead to other things.
Got it. That makes sense.
Once I was about 16 or so. That's when I really started to come to terms and acceptance and open my mind to the possibility that I'm wired differently.
Okay.
I-
Self-acceptance.
Yeah, going from there. So first is basic. It's coming to terms with grief almost. It's a process.
Gotcha.
You come to terms, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. This is how I am. And then really, once you put in the initiative to seek help or guidance or anything, it can really take you a long way really quickly in a really good direction if you're willing to put in even a little bit of time and effort into yourself.
Right.
Like we've said several times, support. The support is a big one.
Yeah. And the thought is coming to me about shame. And part of what you'd have to do is
Get over the shame. Yeah.
really honest and authentic about what you're experiencing. So you would have to let go of all of the shame about it
That you're feeling
to get
that
the help that you actually
exactly.
need. Was that hard for you?
Extremely hard for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with because my brother came into the picture when I was 5. Yeah, it was rough because then my brother, he's on the spectrum. He's autistic.
Okay.
My son is autistic. And then there's me who is in the middle.
I want to make a joke. You're the oddball.
Exactly. I'm the odd one out. Yeah.
It must be nice to be the oddball.
It is. It
that,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've really come to terms like, yeah, I may be different than others. Yeah, I'm different than my brother and my son, but they love me for who I am. I love them for who they are. And as long as we have that caring and sharing and support for each other, then that's really what it comes down to and what matters most is that support. And actually, I think the biggest part is loving yourself first, being able to love yourself first and overcome the wall of, listen, I have a mental illness. I know it's not great, but there are things I can do to make my life better and progress farther and become successful in life.
Yeah.
So I really do believe that these things are reasonable dreams, no matter how crazy you think you are. A lot of the times they're within reach. You just gotta be willing to take that first step.
Yeah. And I think self-love
Is important, especially in today's society.
Yeah. And I think that's extremely hard.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have anything that compared to somebody else,
oh, yeah,
you're like, oh, compared to them,
yeah, Joe Schmo sitting next to you. Yeah, he's all whistling and happy, and you're sitting there dwelling on yourself. Yeah,
easy to feel less than.
exactly. Yeah. And that's where if you let that spiral, that's where you go into that's when fear, it all just starts going down. Fear and everything just starts building and everything, and it just escalates.
So like depression or other
and it'll just become, everything will just start falling apart. It's almost like a domino effect, you could say.
There are cycles to things. With any sort of
some cycles are nicer than others. Yeah.
I get that.
But if you're willing to take the steps and stuff, you can get over most obstacles.
Absolutely.
So
even really
big ones that you think are impassable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There were years that I thought, how am I going to make it to 40? I was sitting there at 18 thinking like, how am I going to make it to 40 with this? But here I am, almost 40.
How do you feel about it now?
Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good.
Seems like it, actually.
Yeah, putting in the time and effort. Actually, honestly, it took my mom kicking me in the butt because I'm one of those kind of people that puts myself on the back burner for other people, especially those I care about.
Yeah.
So it took my mom kicking me in the butt saying, get a hold of your doctor. It's her job. It's job reassurance. You're making sure she has the job.
Job security.
Yeah, job security. Yeah.
Okay.
I got in contact with her and her team and everything, and that was about 2 years ago, and I've been doing progressively better since. So yeah, between that and my family, my pop, my mom, my brother, my son, they're all 100% behind me, and I'm 100% behind them.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I just got a sensation on my face right here.
Yeah, mine's on the bridge of my nose. Yeah, where my glasses are sitting right there. Yeah,
so if you're listening and not watching, I just got a sensation on the right side of my nose,
right by my eye. Right in the bridge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're making sure we know that we're connected, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
So question. So for somebody who is starting to experience, or maybe has for a long time, and they try to push it away, seeing things or hearing things and have that background fear, what would you suggest?
If you're having that fear and you're seeing and hearing things, really the first thing to do is reach out, whether it's a family member or a best friend, something like that. Be like, hey, listen, I'm going through some stuff. Can you help me? Or can we go do something? What you want to do is try and see if you can just distract it. If there's something in your routine you could do that could help mitigate things and make things easier. But for the most part, if you're seeing things and hearing things and you're in that kind of fear area, the best thing would be to remember is that they're loud, they're scary, but they can't physically actually, they're not like a spirit. They can't grab you and take hold of you. They can say things, they can shape shift, they can do things, but really, when it comes down to actually hurting you, really, it breaks down to them beating you down to the point where you hurt yourself. You just become a pile of rubble, basically.
Like a bully, like what a bully does.
Exactly. Just
Okay.
beat you down and beat you down and beat you down. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm getting a pain on the left back side of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, about being persistent.
Yeah.
Being persistent. And sorry, I'm supposed to ask this. So actually, before we do your question, whoever has that question. So here's my other part of that kind of question. So if somebody's starting to hear and see and feel things, you're saying reach out and talk to people about it, because it might not be schizophrenia.
Correct.
It might be genuinely just a spiritual experience. And the
Correct.
difference between somebody who has spiritual experiences and schizophrenia, how would you define the difference? Because now we're seeing very clear there's tons of overlap, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Really, I think the only difference comes down to most of the time I would think medium setting, you'd be able to get aggression and whatnot. But with schizophrenia, when you hear something yelling at you, you feel in your soul like someone is angry at you and despising you and just mad at you, or you hear screaming. It can be terrifying, but the difference also, I think, is you're probably more able to communicate a little more easily with an actual spirit than you would be an actual hallucinate if it was a spiritual.
But is it a hallucinate? Because
exactly.
I'm feeling pretty clear right now.
Oh yeah.
That these are not just your brain playing, which I thought it was. That's what I thought schizophrenia was. I didn't know it's also you're doing the same thing I'm doing, but you're experiencing a different type, maybe a different level.
What I think, really, I think what it breaks down to, in the most part, other than emotion, is really just the emotion that you get from it. Because Omar's there, we know he's there, and he's messed with us a few times.
Let's say he's got an agenda, but he's not trying to be overwhelming.
Exactly.
But these other energies
can be. Yeah.
And when I do connect with people on the other side or energies on the other side, there isn't like a whole ton of emotion. I might tear up during a reading or something because I'm feeling them in that moment, but it dissipates. But it sounds like what you get, it doesn't really dissipate in that way.
Yeah, the only real thing is the emotions you feel. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, I also looked up some of the other symptoms of schizophrenia.
Yes.
So that other people can, I don't have those things too.
That's why I said there's so many subcategories. You have schizophrenia, and then you've got like schizoaffective.
Let's just focus on the schizophrenia for right now. So the other things are disorganized thinking.
Yes.
And delusion.
Yes. Those can be anywhere from a God complex. You think you're invincible.
Okay. So that's a delusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the FBI and CIA are out to get me, and have wired all my phones and tapped my house and stuff like that.
Another delusion. Now, right there, can I just stop you for a sec? Can you remember where we were?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So versus hallucinations. So delusions are ways of thinking of things that are tiny bit plausible kind of thing,
But highly unlikely.
but highly unlikely.
Yes.
Whereas a hallucination is like this thing you're experiencing. So like I see things in my mind's eye. I
Right.
call it clairvoyance, but for somebody with schizophrenia, they would, or diagnosing them with that, they would say
be a
that's a
hallucination.
visual hallucination.
Correct.
So I hear songs and music, and I don't hear voices, but I get things in my head. I hear words.
Yeah.
I call that clairaudience.
And we
But-
call that auditory hallucination.
I
Yeah.
feel things on my body. I'll feel like chills in certain areas.
Same.
Sometimes I feel it tapping, or I was feeling stuff on my head. I would call that clairsentience. You would call that
A sixth sense. Really? That's what I
I
mean.
love that. Thank you
Yeah.
for saying that. But in the term
In schizophrenic terms, it would be a
tactile
tactile
hallucination.
hallucinations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we define things.
Is just really who you're asking,
And-
which doctor or which
Yeah.
person category.
No, it's tricky because somebody who is really suffering, look,
Right.
what you described, I wouldn't wish
Oh
on
yeah. No.
anybody. That would be terrible, terrifying at times.
Oh yeah.
But being a medium, who I'm connected, it's not even just being a medium. I shouldn't even say it that way. I feel like I could be wrong, but it feels to me like the way that I have had boundaries set up and my intentions put out over, I've been doing this for decades to varying degrees, not as much as I am
yeah.
now. I feel like I've got these, what I'm seeing the term come through is like permanent boundaries. So maybe that's why certain, no offense, Omar, but beings like Omar might visit and say hello, but they don't hang around
Right.
because there is no real room for that. But that feels weird to say that. I'm doing a better job than you are, Scott, at setting boundaries.
Like, it makes far more sense because you're just looking at it more of a spiritual level, whereas doctors that have diagnosed me are looking at more of a brain chemical imbalance type.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the disorganized thinking,
Yeah, that can get troublesome.
so you have
sometimes.
that too.
Yeah. Thinking one straight train of thought. Because when you're trying to speak and you're trying to think, I have the same trouble when I write too. A lot of time, if I handwrite stuff, you'll notice I put in capitals in weird places and stuff. That's just because I'm trying to get the idea or thought, whatever, out as fast as possible. Otherwise, I just stumble and just lose track and
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
become a jumbled mess.
Gotcha. But these are good distinctions for
Yes.
people who are like weighing it out.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're like a medium with some super bonuses you didn't want.
extra bonuses. Yeah. Yeah. I signed the lifetime warranty, but I didn't read the small print.
You have to read the
Right,
terms.
the terms and conditions.
That's how they get you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gosh. I just am feeling so grateful to have had this conversation.
Oh yeah,
with
I'm glad you extended the offer. Yeah.
Yeah. And it does feel to me like if you're open to it, maybe there's some things, resources that we can put on my YouTube channel,
Sure.
have its own page on there for people who are interested in maybe hearing more from you or
Okay. Yeah.
maybe making some other things available to
Okay.
maybe help other people learn how to block out some of the
Cope.
voices or cope. with
Yeah,
it.
I'd be happy to help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope for our audience that all of you, because I get the fear. I get the fear of I'm crazy. Holy shit, I can't get rid of this thing. What
But
is
it's such
happening?
a norm these days. Everyone's crazy in some sort of way.
I can't argue with that. Do you have anything else you want to say before we end for right now?
Other than just try and stay strong, which anybody should do, because life's always trying to throw curveballs our way, one way or another.
We're here to
Work,
learn.
life,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. And if we're here to learn, none of us learn when it's easy.
Exactly.
Really. I wish
That's
we
why
did.
life's one big learning experience. That's what it's meant to be. So
Yeah.
we do have some these days, and we have things like technology and stuff that we can really help us out, but we're not much different than a few millennia ago, where we're still living in houses in the plains and stuff like that. We're still wired the same way. We're all the same. We just have our own little crazies.
Yeah.
Forms of crazy, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
Our own little forms of crazy. Yeah.
Let's see if we can work together in partnership with
Unstereotype
Omar
that. Yeah.
to undo some of the stigma, to
That'd be
help
great.
people who are experiencing what are just spiritual experiences, potentially. I'm not diagnosing anybody.
Right.
I'm a therapist, but I'm nacho therapist. I've been dying to say that in a way, the cheese that's not your
Yeah.
cheese, nacho cheese. I am not your therapist. So if you are having symptoms and experiences,
They reach out
not
to
sure,
either
yeah.
family or there are resources. There are always free resources available.
Yeah.
There are tons of resources.
And maybe go see a mental health professional and get their opinion. Now, but you could also talk to somebody, I would think, who's a mental health professional and say, look, before we even get together, I just want to be clear. My spiritual perspective allows for.
Absolutely.
So I need
make it
you
clear.
to,
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to make yourself very clear. You need to tell the professional where your lines are, where your boundaries are. Yes, absolutely. Communication is absolutely key.
I had some health stuff happen and I really learned, wow, you have to really select your doctor.
Yeah.
You could end up with somebody who I just saw a doctor that I was feeling really good about until my last visit. And he said, there's nothing you can do about that unless you believe in the placebo effect. Why bother getting tested for that? And I was just like,
really? Yeah.
I think I need a new doctor.
Yeah, it's one of those coming. Yeah.
And that's not his style. So he might have been having a bad day, but I selected
But it was
that
enough.
doctor.
Yeah. It was enough of a concern that,
don't take away somebody's hope. Don't take away anybody's hope.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I look at it.
Don't make them. Yeah.
Don't make them feel worse.
That's along the lines of just being, honestly, if you're talking to from a mental health aspect, that's like bullying someone.
Yeah.
That's like someone saying when you're depressed, oh, don't be so sad. Get over it. You'll be fine.
Or there's a weakness in you.
Because you're sad. Yeah. That's another stigma. Yeah. Especially with men, unfortunately. Mental illness and the fact that being sad or anything like that is, forbidden. But just allow yourself to be you.
That's the best advice in the whole freaking world.
Right there, you'll start being happier. Just let yourself be you. We're all sorts of crazy. Yeah. We're all sorts of crazy. Crazy's the word of the day.
Okay, so is it okay if I put my arm under your arm? So from these crazies to you crazies. Thank you for sharing this time with us. Thank you for being here. I hope you all got value out of hearing from Scott.
And if you guys want me back, I'm more than happy to come back.
I'm barely letting you go now.
But no, if you would really like to have me back, I'm more than happy to come back. Yeah.
So check on my YouTube channel because we're going to put some resources together and we'll put it on there to support everybody who's questioning or not sure or just needs the extra support.
Yeah, even just a comforting, hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh yeah,
I can't even say thank you enough. This was.
I know, it's okay. I'm just glad I was able to. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Take very good care of yourselves. I'm Noelle Dean. I'm your host, and thank you for being here for Mediumship Sparks. Take care.
Awesome.
Thank you for spending this time with me on Mediumship Sparks. I truly believe that with mediumship, the only real limit is our imagination. If this podcast speaks to you, please rate and subscribe. If it could be useful to someone you care about, please share it. If you're interested in a reading or getting some support to navigate the spiritual path you're on or the one you want to be on, I offer a free consultation to discuss what you're looking for and how I can help. Learn more about my readings and classes at connectingwithnoelle.com. Subscribe on YouTube, Connecting with Noelle, for helpful videos and video podcast episodes. Take good care of yourself, and I look forward to being with you again soon.